Right, aren't we glad we got to do a little line dancing to get the blood flowing after lunch? Yeah. Yes, okay, so you're awake, right? Well, I'm excited to share with you about recruiting. It's always been a favorite part of the business to me. Now sure, there have been times when it seemed I couldn't recruit at all, but I realized most of those times I was making it all about me. You know, we have to realize sharing this business truly is a gift that we have to give. And you know, what if Doris hadn't shared this gift 31 years ago? What if your recruiter hadn't shared the gift with you? I like to remind myself, I have been so blessed by this company, who am I to keep it all to myself, you know? It's too incredibly wonderful not to share. So what made 2011 special? Well, to start, I was incredibly focused. I had a recruiting goal at the very beginning of the year and knew what I needed to do each month to stay on track. Why? Well, June 2012 is our 20-year wedding anniversary. Does anybody know what Pampered Chef offered for June 2012? What? I'm here to tell you, I cried for 3 days when I found out I was going to have the opportunity to go on a cruise of a lifetime with my husband in our 20th wedding anniversary month. So, yes. So, after that, I set a goal and started booking shows, because we all know your next recruits are waiting at your next show. You know that, right? That's where they are. So you have to have a consistent show schedule in order to recruit consistently. You also have to track meticulously, and the company's given us lots of great tools to do that. You know, the online incentive tracker. It was a daily, sometimes hourly place I went throughout the year. But I also used the paper tracker. Now you know, we got all these last year. I have to share mine with you. It's quite marked up. My kids wrote notes to me on it. I wrote each month what I was doing and how many people I needed to bless with the business. Now this was posted in a rather unusual place in my home, our master bathroom. I put it there because I would see it every morning and every night. And every day of 2011, I looked at this flyer. So if you have yours folded up from your meeting planner in the Back to Business folder, get it out. It's not going to do you any good in that folder. So get it out and put it somewhere you're going to see it on a regular basis. So let's talk about what I did. In addition to being extremely focused, I added a couple new components to my show. Now, one I learned at spring launch right here last January, and the other I learned in Chicago at National Conference. You know, attending any home office event is going to make a huge impact in your commission check when you go home and apply what you learn. Okay, say it with me. When I go home and apply what I learn. Okay, you've got to go home and do it. It can't, again, stay in a folder somewhere. So when you're done today, go through your notes and highlight 3 things you want to implement immediately. That way your investment in coming here today is going to pay off. Now I have to give credit where credit is due. Both of the ideas I'm about to share with you, I learned from a dear friend and colleague, Executive Director Lydia Martin. Yes, love Lydia. So you folks are probably going to be familiar with the things I'm about to share. But let me tell you, they have made a huge impact in my business. And about the middle of November, I called Lydia personally and just shared with her how grateful I was for the ideas that she gave me and that I was going to get to take my husband on that cruise because of it. So anyway, so whether you're brand new and this is your very first event or if you've been around a while like me, we can all benefit from new ideas. All right, so you ready? Yep. Here are the details. First idea, Lydia named the 3 envelopes, okay? And I incorporated this idea into the ticket activity. I closed my party out with a ticket activity. And I gotta be honest with you, the first couple times I tried the ticket activity, it kind of bombed. I actually heard crickets chirping. Anybody experience crickets at your show? Yeah, I know. So I don't know who to give credit to for these words, but these words made a big difference in the whole experience with the ticket activity. And they go something like this. Now for the last 2 minutes of the party, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask me anything you've ever wondered about how this kind of business works. Now hear me loud and clear. I know this job is not for everyone, but I found over the last 10 years it can be for anyone. So even if you're not interested, go ahead and ask me anything you've ever wondered. And can visibly see shoulders relax when I say those couple of sentences. Let me say it again? Okay. Now, I know this job is not for everyone, but I have found it can be for anyone. So even if you know this job is not for you, go ahead and ask me anything you've ever wondered about how this kind of business works. Nothing's off limits. So we proceed through the ticket activity, and then when someone asks me about income potential, or even if they don't ask me about it, I have my 3 envelopes ready, okay? So there are 3 business-size envelopes with the number 1, the number 2, and the number 3 on the front of each one. Inside envelope number 1, I have $400 in Monopoly money. Inside envelope number 2, I have $900 in Monopoly money. And inside envelope number 3 is a copy of one of my recent commission checks, okay? So when I share, I say, now let's say after hearing me tonight, you decide you want to give the Pampered Chef a try. And let's say you go out and do 4 shows in a month. You work 4 days in a given month. You give up 4 nights of bad TV. Just give it a whirl. I have the person with envelope number 1 pull out the $400. This is what you could make for working 4 days in a month with the Pampered Chef. What could you do with that extra money? And have the guest share. Car payment, pay off some debt, fund money, whatever. So let's say after you do that for a while, you decide, well, maybe I'll pick it up a little bit. Maybe instead of 1 show a week, I'll do 2. So again, you're working 8 days out of 30, not even considered part-time at Target, right? Envelope number 2, what could you make for working 8 days out of 30? They pull out the $900. And I say, like anything in life, the more you do it, the better you get, so you're going to more than double your money. Now, what would you do with an extra $900? Anybody need an appliance? Piece of furniture? You know, we're talking about a family-changing amount of money, just working 2 days a week. And so you do that for a while, and then one day you look at me and you say, all right, Teresa, how do you really make money in this business? Like, how do you replace a full-time income kind of money? And so I tell you everything I know, which takes about 15 minutes. But more importantly, I walk with you. I celebrate you when things go well, because they will. And I pick you up when things don't go so well, because that will happen too. And I teach you how to build a team. And over time, you begin to build a team, because that's how you really make money in this kind of business. And then I have them open envelope number 3. And so I share at that point. I don't share that income to brag. I give it all to the Lord. He's allowed it to happen in my life. I share it to show you the possibilities that you can experience in a business like this. And I give a copy of that check to everybody on my team, so they have that to share as well. And the numbers don't really matter. It's more that you're showing people what they can experience. You know, put one of your paychecks in envelope number 1 or envelope number 2, wherever it applies. But I found that people really pay attention and are listening when you have the envelopes out there and you're looking at the income. You want them to see the potential. All right, so that's the first idea. The second idea is called 2 simple steps. And I absolutely love this. I will tell you, in 11 years of doing this business, I had never recruited anyone at the show. Never. In 2011, I recruited 5 people at the show. Just by doing this, okay? So I say, now getting started in this business is as simple as 2 simple steps. The first step is schedule a grand opening party with me. Okay, so it's going to look a lot like tonight. You're going to invite all your friends. I'm going to come and do the party. It's a training night for you. You're going to experience all the host rewards, and you're also going to earn the commission check that night. My job will be to get you lots of bookings and maybe even find you your first recruit. In fact, today, in my team over there, we have a group of people that we signed at Deborah's show. No, at Lori's show we signed Deborah, and at Deborah's show we signed Brenda. And they're all having a blast working their businesses together from doing grand opening shows. So, way to go, girls. Woo! And so step 1 is scheduling that grand opening date, okay? Step 2 is to pick from one of our fabulous kits. They're both filled with products that are probably already on your wish list at a significant discount. I go through what's in each kit and then describe them and say, you can start your business for as little as $80. If this sounds like something you'd like to try, then go ahead and write starter kit on your order form tonight, and we can schedule your grand opening date. Now, don't fall out of your chair when they do it, because they will. It is amazing. This company has made it so easy for people to give it a try, and you never know until you try. There are so many people out there that have a need the Pampered Chef can meet, as we just heard. Now, what I need to tell you is that when you're driving to your shows, you can't think about yourself. You know, even though I had this chart posted and I knew exactly what I needed to do each month, when I was driving to my shows, I wasn't thinking about that. When I was driving to my shows, I was thinking about, show me who is here tonight that has a need Pampered Chef can meet. For some people, it's a product need. For some people, it's a social need. For some people, it's truly an income need. Our job is to share that Pampered Chef could be the answer to that need, because, you know, I love to say, none of us goes to a party to get a job, right? I didn't go to college to be a Pampered Chef consultant, but I have been so blessed, you know? So you never know. You must be 100% focused on them and how this business can be a blessing to them. You know, as Zig Ziglar loves to say, the more you help people get what they want, then the more you will get what you want. Every recruit that you sign in 2012 will take you one step closer to your next promotion, to earning the trip of your choice, whatever it is you desire, but you've got to focus on them first. And as you focus on them, be prepared for a grateful thank you. You know, how many of us are so glad somebody shared the business with us? Every consultant gets to define what success is going to look like for them. You know, they get to decide what success looks like. And again, our job is to share that business with them. So, to summarize, book a solid show schedule. That's where you have to start. Your recruits are waiting at your next show. You've got to pick up the phone to schedule the shows to go find your next recruits. And then focus 100% on them and how this business can be a blessing to them. See how many people you can bless this year. Let's make it a great 2012. Thank you so much.